Welcome to Secrets of a Bridal Seamstress podcast, where we hear stories from fellow seamstresses just like you. We're able to share their success stories. We learn from wedding industry pros for the best business tips, and we get to hear from fellow sewists and crafters to hopefully inspire our creativity and our love for sewing. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're a bridal seamstress, I'd also like to invite you to check out our Bridal Seamstress business membership. We have a community of women that can testify to the power of genuine connection, friendship, vulnerability, the power of our six-figure seamstress method, and a genuine connection found in a business mentorship like this. All right, let's dive into the episode. Hey friends, welcome back to Secrets of Bridal Seamstress, our little Friday shorty episode series that we have going on. We're going to dive right back into our six-figure seamstress topics. And I've been doing pretty good, I feel like, with our timing with these things the past couple weeks. So I'm going to try to stay within our 12-minute window. So this will truly be a little shorty nugget that you can take with you for the weekend. But I wanted to talk to you about how to recreate your ideal client or how to attract your ideal client. And this is like such a great topic. This is one of the first things we talk about in our six-figure seamstress course in Secrets of Bridal Seamstress membership. And if you're interested in just purchasing that course alone, there's a link in the show notes for that. If you're like, membership's not for me, but I really want to get into that course and help prep for my 2026 season, we got you, and that is now available. But this is the first thing that we're going to talk about is, first of all, identifying who your ideal client is, and then learning how to just make more of those clients appear in your studio. So if you're listening and you're like, I literally don't even know what that means, or who my ideal client is, or maybe you're like, I just need any client actually to walk through the door. I don't need them to be ideal. I just need them to like be warm-blooded. And I get it. Okay. We've all been there. I totally remember being there when I first started my business, and I didn't really even know what I wanted to do, what kind of projects I wanted to take in, but I knew that I was open for business, right? And so when I first started learning about this concept of your ideal client avatar, this was probably back in 2018. And this was just when I started using like fitting packages for myself, and I made my investment guide and just really honing in on who it was that I actually wanted to intentionally invite into my studio to work with me. And my studio at the time, we were in a rental, it was a home studio, and that worked just fine. You can still be intentional about who you want to invite into your workspace, no matter where you're working from, right? Okay, so if you have no idea where to start, this is a great episode for you. And it's going to be nice and quick and short. And you can just like take the little information and take it with you to prep for 2026. Okay. So what I want you to do is think about this past summer. You know, you're in the season of reflection and you're thinking about all the wins. I want you to think about your favorite clients or the favorite projects that you worked on this summer. Now, this is super useful whether you had 3 brides in total all year, or you had 30, or you had 100 brides to reflect on. There are going to be some people that just stick out as being awesome clients. Maybe it was like they gave you a great tip. Maybe they were great communicators. They were just so like easy. Like you felt like they weren't super, nitpicky about things. They were really secure in you. They trusted you. They came on time. They didn't cancel last minute. Maybe they brought like awesome guests or no guests. You just think about what is the perfect scenario, and your dream client fits that bill. Now, this is a very abridged version of identifying your ideal client and developing an ideal client avatar, but this will do in 10 minutes, okay? So think about existing clients that you've already had experiences with and start collecting data on that. That is how you can intentionally grow a business to reflect what you actually want, instead of just heading into the next bridal season or diving into a business and really having no idea what you want it to be for or where you want it to go. So think about that ideal client that you already had this past summer. How did they treat you? Like what did the project include? Did you love the sewing work, or was it just the individual person and like the sewing you didn't really care about? I don't know. You want to think about both things were awesome. Like the actual work that you did and the person behind the dress were just both your favorites. Okay. So think about those maybe top 3 to 5 favorite clients and take some notes on what the experience was like for you, like what the result was, and then go backwards and think about how did they contact you? I don't know if you have this in your inquiry form, but I have like a drop menu where a inquiring client would tell me where they heard about me. So it could be like Facebook or Instagram or a friend or referring bridal shop or Google. And that gives me a lot of data in itself because I know what like marketing funnel to spend more time in, right? So the first thing you want to think about is where did they find you or where did they come from? So if they came from a bridal shop that isn't necessarily a an official feeder for you, like you're not on their list, but you're noticing, hey, this particular shop, I'm getting a few brides from them. That will be a great opportunity for you to introduce yourself, bring some flowers, bring some coffee gift cards, whatever, and establish that relationship. And if you already have a strong relationship and you are on the preferred seamstress list, then you want to nurture that relationship as best as you can. And like that's like your first clue is, okay, come November, December when things slow down, get some flowers, drive them over, reintroduce yourself, whatever. Keep that relationship going because they're already a source for your ideal client, right? If you're finding that like your dream clients are finding you on Google and they're doing the research and they're reading reviews, you want to make sure that you are really attending to that Google profile, like you're replying to the testimonials, which I will say I'm not the best at that. I'm trying to get better at just like right away posting a reply and ask more clients to leave reviews for you. If you know that your dream client is searching for you on Google, then do what you can to get more reviews to boost that up. If your clients are finding you on like Instagram or Facebook, then time to up the ante with your social media, right? And it's funny because some of us, we do get a lot of traffic from social media. Some of us, it's like, oh no, it's just there for looks, but most of my clientele come from, Google or whatever. So by knowing where your ideal client, not every client, but where that dream client is finding you and how they're doing their research, that should help you plan your marketing for next season. See where I'm going with this? So it'll be really intentional instead of just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that, posting a little bit, doing a little bit on Google, maybe talking to some bridal shops will get you some clients. No, this way you're actually working with data that is like giving you the results that you actually want. Okay. Now, what if we take it a step further and after you go back in your memory and think about how wonderful this bride was and how they found you and all the things, what if you took it a step further and you asked the bride about their experience with you? What were they thinking when they were looking for you? What were they looking for in a bridal seamstress? And how did they land on you? This might feel kind of awkward, and you're like, I don't want to interview anybody. This sounds like they're already married, they're out of my life, done, 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 done. They don't want to hear from me. Let me encourage you that your clients would love to be interviewed. I'm telling you, it's like they feel special, right? So just have 5 questions ready to go. Like, where did you hear about me? What made you choose me? What was your favorite part about the experience working with me? What was your problem before you came to me? And then what was the result? And how did the alterations process make you feel? These are all questions that you can probably pause this and then rewind and listen to it again to get those 5 points down. But those are all pretty personal questions. Like, yes, okay, what were your alterations? That's a basic question. But each of these questions are just deep enough that allow your client to expound upon like where they were emotionally. I know that sounds kind of deep for like a client interview or for marketing research or whatever, but you do want to know what they were thinking when they booked with you. Because remember, this is you trying to recreate this awesome experience that you just had with your dream client. And you want to make sure that everything that you post on social media, all the copy that you have on your website, how you respond to your Google reviews, like what voice you use, which should be your natural voice, right? But like you want to make sure that that is drawing in the clients that you actually want to work with. Okay, so I feel like I'm not a super formal person. So when I do respond, do is the key word. When I do respond to my Google reviews, I want to talk to them the way that I talk to them, like in fittings, like very casual, warm. I'm it's like a little silly, you know what I mean? Like that's how I'm going to type out my response because that's how I treat them in person. And like that's where my energy is with them. I'm not going to come at my Google reviews and leave a very like serious response, right? Because that's just not who I am. And then somebody reading those, they're going to expect like a very formal person. And it's like, that's not me. They signed up for the wrong person. Same thing with like what I post on social media or all of my copy on my website is attracting a specific person based on the research that I did when I first started my business. Like my first few years, I was paying attention to who was coming in the door. Did I like working with that person? No. Let's not do any research on them. Oh my gosh, I loved working with this woman. Like she was super just fun. Like we clicked. How did she find me and how can I recreate that magic, right? So just two easy steps. Where did they come from and pay attention to where they came from and then take it a step further and send maybe 3 to 5 interview questions to your favorite clients that you've worked with this past year and have them provide the answers for you. They can be the ones to flesh out your ideal client avatar so you don't have to pull it out of thin air. They'll be literally giving you the answers you need. Like they're going to be describing to you the client that you want to work with in 2026. It's like the best little way to cheat. I hope that helps you. I want to honor the time and we're running out of time. So I hope this little nugget helps you with your marketing. This little six-figure seamstress tip is being intentional about who you bring in the doors and also taking ownership of the fact that you can control the type of client that chooses to work with you. And if you want more on this topic, if you want the full training of identifying your ideal client avatar and then developing a marketing strategy that really draws in that particular client, hit me up and we can talk about the Six Figure Seamstress course. The $997 price comes with a one-on-one strategy session with me. So that is a $550 value in itself. And you're getting the full course, the 6 course meal, the full course with me, and then also the one-on-one strategy session for $997. And it will definitely change the way you experience your 2026 season. But this was just a little sampling. And if you just take this little nugget of advice, I promise you, you will see results just with this little takeaway for 2026. Okay, I hope I stay on time. I will see you guys on Tuesday.